got something good to eat tonight. Hi, Mom. The coach really gave us a workout. And, oh, boy, ham. I'm so hungry I could eat a neutral and see what he gave us to do.
Chuck.
Huh?
Could you serve yourself in a less athletic manner?
Oh. Is this better?
Chuck. At least you could manage to be on time. After your mother goes to all the trouble to prepare a fine meal, it's only common courtesy, Chuck.
I know, but I couldn't help it. I was late home from school.
Never mind. He did wash up and brush his hair. By the way, Chuck, I saw Barbara's mother downtown. That's quite a supper party she's planning.
Is it this Friday?
I'm not going.
Why not?
Do I have to have a reason?
But all your friends will be there.
I'm not going.
Chuck, don't talk with your mouth full.
Good night, Chuck.
Good night. Have a good time. Oh, who wants to go to a supper party?
You do, Chuck.
Huh? Who are you?
We're looking into the future, Chuck. I am the young man you are going to be in a few short years.
Well, if you say so.
And take it from me, when we're my age, we won't be turning down invitations.
Maybe not.
Tell me, why aren't you going?
I don't know.
I do. You're worried about not doing the right thing. Your table manners.
Now you're talking like Mom and Dad.
Look, you may not care much about table manners now, but when you grow up to be me, then you'll care.
But why? Why does it matter?
For several reasons. Look, maybe I can show you. Let's imagine the family at dinner with nobody minding his manners. Not very pretty, is it? Each person busy feeding his face, showing no consideration for the others. People become irritated, angry. No one can enjoy a meal like this. No. Mealtime is a time for pleasure and relaxation. It's the best opportunity the family has to talk together, exchange bits of news, make plans. When everybody eats properly, the meal goes better, and everybody has more fun. What's more, when we relax and enjoy ourselves, we digest our food better. And ask your doctor if that isn't important to your health. But there's more.
What's that?
How long now before you'll be going out to make your own way in the world?
Not very long, I guess.
And whatever you do, wherever you go, you'll want to put your best foot forward. Here, let's try another trick. Let's change that to a table in a restaurant. You're taking a girl out to dinner. To make a good impression, you must know what to do. Who seats the girl? When you sit? How to order your meal? Of course, the girl wants to know these things too, in order to show herself at her best. Then you must know how to eat your meal. And the only way to have good table manners when you want them is to practice them regularly at home. Get in a habit of eating properly, so it just comes naturally. Or take another case. Say you're having lunch with your boss. Say he's thinking about somebody to fill a good position that's opening up. Well, put yourself in the boss's place. Would you give the job to a fellow like this? Or to a fellow who thinks that table manners are silly? You see what I mean about putting your best foot forward? Table manners are important because people judge many things about you just by the way you eat.
All right, maybe so, but it's also complicated.
Is it? Look, there's nobody here. Let's try it out.
What do you mean?
Come on. Besides, that supper party sounds good. If we know what to do, I think we'll want to go.
Well...
Look sharp now. There. There is a place setting properly arranged.
It looks all right, but what am I supposed to do? That's the question.
Well, what would you do if you sat down to dinner and found 3 forks, like this?
I'd probably end up with one left over and wonder what I did wrong.
Not if you remember one simple rule. always use silverware from the outside in. So, starting from the outside, use this for your salad, this for your main course, and this...
Why, that one must be for the dessert.
You see? It's easy.
But there's something funny here. Doesn't the butter knife belong here?
Well, the book says either place. And speaking of the book, it wouldn't hurt you to use one sometime and check up on any points that you're not sure of.
Sure, we have some books in school, but I'll have to be careful who sees me reading it.
Don't worry, you can manage that. And now to use these things. Let's have some food. Say, it's too bad you've just eaten.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Things will be easier if you'll remember that in eating, there are 3 kinds of food. Finger foods, fork foods, and spoon foods. Now, clean dry foods, bread is one of them, are finger foods. But when you have something that's messy or sticky, you better use a fork.
Yeah, like a cream puff?
That's the idea. Now, fork foods include meats, potatoes, vegetables, salads, and many others. There's a right way to hold a fork, and this is it. Don't put onto your fork any more than 1 mouthful of food. Oh yes, after you've placed food on your fork, if you decide to talk, lay it down until you're ready to eat. It looks better. And this is the way to park a fork, after you've used it.
Not propped up on the edge of the plate, huh?
That's the idea. Here, now you try it.
Okay.
Now with some fork foods, we need a knife. Let's see how you use it.
The folks say I do it wrong.
Hey, that's not only the wrong way, it's the hard way. Here, try this. Put the ends of both the handles in the palms of your hands, like that. Hold the meat with your fork and cut the meat. Don't tear it apart.
Say, this is better.
You see? Good table manners are just common sense.
Is that right?
Yes, that's the way most people in America handle their knife and fork. We don't have to worry with the European method. But now, after you've finished eating,
I have.
you place your knife and fork this way to show that you have finished.
But what about spoon foods?
Oh, yes. All right. How do you manage soup?
Hi, you don't fool me on this one. You never tip...
Care for some turnips?
Oh, turnips. You know I can't bear... no thank you.
That's the idea, Chuck. Courtesy, consideration for others, common sense. That's what table manners are.
You mean that's all there is to table manners, just what we've talked about?
Oh, no. But you already know a great deal. And you can learn still more by watching Mother and Dad and other people who have good manners. But the main thing is...
The main thing is to practice at home so that table manners will come naturally and I won't have to think about them when I'm out.
You can't miss. Oh, let's stew the dishes.
Mother should see that.
Well, Chuck, are we going to that party?
Sure we are. We are?
That's right, Chuck. We are going to the party. You can't see me any longer, but remember, I'm the fellow you're going to be. So I'm interested in seeing that you always make a good impression. This really isn't hard, is it? You know what to do. That's right. Ladies first into the dining room. And now what? Right again. Find your place and remain standing. You see, Chuck, it's easy to do the right thing if you remember courtesy, consideration of others, and common sense. And also remember, you're here not to see how fast you can eat, but to have time. Well, our boy is doing all right. Don't you think so? Don't you think you can do the same?
Hello. Hi, I'm Skip Alzheimer of AV Geeks. Thanks for joining us today for our lunchroom. Sure, it's lunchroom. Our lunchtime screening of 16 millimeter films from my collection of over 27,000 16 millimeter educational films. Yesterday was annoying because there was all sorts of internet shenanigans going on that kept me from broadcasting to both YouTube and Facebook at the same time, and so I know that some people on Facebook didn't get a chance to see it live. I tried to post something over there once I had finished on YouTube. The quality is kind of but there's an opportunity to watch what we showed yesterday. There was some great stuff, or at least I thought it was great. I don't know. We showed a horrible Christian television show, so there's that to look forward to. Anyways, today is Tuesday, and we've been doing this as a way to kind of break up the day for myself, but also to offer some lunchtime viewing that has nothing to do with current events, or at least tries not to have anything to do with current events. All these films kind of resonate to modern day, and certainly good table manners, that's something that is always an issue, because kids are always having to learn that, and there's a new batch of kids all the time, so that problem will never go away. Anyhow, I've been pulling various films from the films that I've had digitized and showing them to folks like you, and so let's watch some. All right, this next film is a science experiment film. We showed one on optical illusions last week, and this one is about ice. The frozen water ice, not anything else. Enjoy.
You can show your friends how to lift an ice cube out of a glass of water with nothing but a piece of string. Would you like to know how? Then keep watching.
Hello, young neighbors. Welcome to Junior Science. Today we're going to do some exciting experiments with ice. Now, we all know that water can take three forms. It can be a solid, a liquid, or a gas. The difference between the three forms is heat. If you add heat to ice, the ice melts, becomes water. If you take away heat from water, the water freezes, becomes ice. And that's exactly the way ice is made in a refrigerator. In an electric refrigerator, a liquid is pushed into a hollow casing through a narrow pipe. There is more room in the casing than in the pipe, so the liquid has less pressure on it, and it evaporates. In evaporating, it takes heat from the water in the trays, and the water turns into ice. Now there's a certain, and stand the tube in a glass of cracked ice mixed with salt. You'll see that the temperature of the water in the test tube drops steadily until it reaches 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Then the water in the test tube begins to freeze. You can see that it is only partly frozen by the fact that you can move the thermometer up and down. It takes several minutes for all the water in the test tube to freeze, and while it is freezing, the temperature remains the same. When all the water in the temperature drops again a few degrees. If you are wondering why we put the test tube into ice mixed with salt, here's a stunt that will show you, and that you can show your friends. First, float an ice cube in a glass of water. Then challenge a friend to lift the cube out of the glass with the help of nothing but a short piece of string, and without getting his hand wet. He'll try to figure it out, but he won't be able to. Then you show him. What do? Why, just soak one end of the string in the water and lay the wet string across the top of the ice cube. Then get a shaker of salt and sprinkle some salt along the string. the salt makes the ice near the string melt. But in a few seconds, the melted ice freezes over the string, and you can lift the cube out of the glass. Why does it work? Well, a mixture of salt and ice does not freeze at the same temperature as ice alone does. It freezes at a lower temperature. When you put the salt on the ice, the temperature of the ice cube is not low enough for the salt and ice mixture to stay frozen. So the salted ice melts. In melting, the salted ice robs heat from the ice near it and from the water on the wet string, and they become cold enough to freeze together. Now we can see why we used a mixture of ice and salt to freeze the water in the test tube. It's because a mixture of ice and salt makes water colder than ice alone does. Now let's find out another interesting fact about ice. Take a tray of ice cubes out of your refrigerator and examine one of the cubes. You'll find that it has a bulge near its center. Do you know why? Well, here's an experiment you can do to find out. Get a bottle with flat sides and fill the bottle with water that has been boiled and then cooled again. You boil it to drive most of the air out. Pour in the water until the bottle overflows. Then screw on the cap. Place the bottle in an empty ice tray and put the tray in your refrigerator. Let the bottle stay in the refrigerator overnight. The next morning, open the refrigerator and look at the bottle. You'll find that the water in the bottle has frozen to ice and that the ice has broken the bottle. The reason the ice broke the bottle is that water expands when it freezes. It grows larger. Most materials become smaller when they freeze, but water becomes larger. That's why an ice cube has a bulge at the top, because the water in the tray expands when it freezes and has no place to go but up. The water in the bottle expanded when it froze and broke the bottle. A substance that expands when it freezes can be melted by pressure. And knowing that, you can do a very interesting experiment. You can cut an ice cube right through the middle, and yet the ice cube will remain in one piece. How do you do it? Well, get a thin wire and wrap each end of it around a pencil. Now, place an ice cube on top of a bottle. Then, hold the wire over the cube and bear down hard on the pencils. Pressure causes the ice directly under the wire to melt, and the wire cuts through the ice. But as the ice melts, it steals heat from the ice around it. That ice becomes colder and freezes the water above the wire. So, even though the wire cuts its way completely through the cube remains in one piece. You can skate on ice because the pressure of your skate constantly melts a thin layer of water on which you glide over the ice. You know, in very cold weather, skating is difficult because then the pressure of your skate blade is not enough to melt the ice under it. Now, here's a question for you. If you have an ice cube in a glass of water that is down to 32 degrees Fahrenheit and add more ice cubes, do you make the water colder? Well, here's an experiment you can do that will give you the answer. Put some ice cubes and water into the bottom part of a vacuum coffee maker. put in a thermometer and stir until the temperature of the water is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Then place the coffee maker on an electric heater. And turn on the heat. Stir the ice water to distribute the heat evenly, and wait for a surprise. Although you keep adding heat to the water, the reading on the thermometer always stays the same, at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, until all the ice in the coffee maker has melted. Then the temperature goes up. So, if you have an unmelted ice cube in a glass of water whose temperature has already gone down to 32 degrees, adding more ice cubes does not make the water any colder. And now you know a great many facts about ice and have many interesting experiments to try as soon as you get a chance.
Sorry about that. I had to chase a lizard out of the basement. I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and it was a little lizard that had snuck in under a door, and so I had to. Anyways, I wasn't expecting that. At first, I thought it was a mouse, and I was like, "Oh man, come on!" Lizards, for some reason, I can tolerate. I love that series. That science series is so great because it has science as kind of these interesting stunts that kids can do, or you can do in your classroom, and really fascinating stuff. It's probably what got me interested in science at the beginning. Yesterday I was going to show a film, but because I ran so late with getting online, I didn't get a chance to show it. This is part of a series that I truly love. But some people really are freaked out by. It features a marionette and his puppeteer, and the marionette experiences different things. And this was early television, and I find it's almost like watching Bob Ross for me. I find it very soothing and meditative. Some people are creeped out by it, but here we go. This is Pierrot and the telephone.
What? Oh, the book is falling off, isn't it? We'll fix it. Oh, it's upside down, too. Well, we'll just turn it over and put it right. There. All right, now. As I was saying, it's over. What? Oh, you want to get up in the chair and look at the book? Well, all right. You got room? You going to jump? Ooh. A little too close, aren't you? Oh, well, that ought to do it. I'll count. 1. You have enough room. Here, again. 1, 2, and up you go. There you are. Right up, right up. Whoa. Almost there. 1 foot. Let's get the other one. Good. You got up in the chair, didn't you? All right. Now, can you see from there? No? Well, you want me to push the chair up a little? All right. How's this? You tell me when it's far enough. Whoop. Does that look about right? No? A little more? All right. You tell me when you want. Yes, that looks all right. Now, I suppose you want me to read it to you? Oh, Pierrot, it's not a storybook. See, you still? All right. It says, Abercrombie, 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 Abercrombie. Oh, more? Abercrombie, Abercrombie, Pierrot, huh? Oh, you want to see how it ends? Oh, Pierrot, it's not a story. But all right, here it is. Zwazuzerman, 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 Zwazuzerman. Pierrot, that's enough. You want to see the beginning again? Well, Pierrot, it's just a list of names. It's not a storybook. It's a telephone book. See? Oh, you don't know what a telephone is? You don't? Well, I'll show you ours. Yes. Now, here, we just close the book, and I'll get the telephone. Here we are. Now, this is a telephone. You know what it's for? Well, we use the telephone to talk to people. Yes, for talking to people. Everybody? Oh, no, to other people who have telephones. The wires connect our telephone with other telephones. Oh, there's the telephone now. Pierrot, don't be excited. That's just the telephone. I'll get it. Pierrot, don't run away. I'm going to have to answer the telephone. Yes, I'll get it. Pierrot, I've got to answer. Hello?
Is this Maine? 1212?
Yes, operator. You have the right number.
I'm just checking your telephone.
Oh, yes, the telephone has been working very... Pierrot, come up on the table where I can keep track. Oh, yes, operator. Our telephone has been working very... Come on, Pierrot, up on the table. Yes, operator. Oh, I'm having a little trouble, operator. Yes, the Pierrot... No, the operator isn't under the table. Her voice is coming over the wire.
Is something wrong with the wire?
Oh, no, operator. I wasn't speaking to you. I was just talking to Pierrot. The telephone has been working very... Pierrot, what are you doing now? Oh, yes. Yes, operator. I was... Pierrot, come back here. You're going to fall. Oh, no, operator, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Pierrot. Pierrot, be careful. You're going to fall. Oh, operator, I'm going to have to call you back. Pierrot's in a little trouble here. Pierrot, now be careful. My goodness, Pierrot, there's no need for all this excitement. There's no one under the table. And when someone is talking over the telephone, it's not polite to disturb them or to make noise. No, there's no one under there. Now, I know you won't do it again, so now I'll explain to you all about a telephone. Oh, that was a lot of excitement, wasn't it? Well, now, yes, I think you can see from there. And here is the telephone. Now, as I said, we use the telephone to talk to people. And I'll show you how it's done. We lift the receiver carefully from its cradle, and now if you get close enough to it, you'll hear a little hum. We call that the dial tone. Well, you can hear it? Well, that's funny. You're listening to the wrong end. Yes. Oh, that's right. Oh, you hear it better there. Oh, all right. Well, now that we hear the hum, we know that it's time to dial. Everybody has a number on his telephone, so when you want to call, you dial that number. But when you want to call operator, you dial 0. That's who I'm calling now.
Operator?
Oh, hello, operator. This is Maine 1212. I'm sorry about the mix-up we had. Pierrot is a puppet and didn't know where your voice was coming from. So would you say hello to him, please?
Hello, Pierrot.
Speak to him again, operator.
I think Pierrot's a nice name.
Oh, he's a little bashful.
Don't you think Pierrot's a nice name? Pierrot? What do you look like, Pierrot? I'll bet you're a cute little puppet.
Oh, Pierrot. The operator... Now, why don't you answer?
Won't
Pierrot.
you say hello to me?
Oh, I don't think you're being very polite. Go ahead, say hello. Operator, I'm afraid Pierrot's so bashful he hasn't been very polite.
Oh, it's perfectly all right. I understand. Goodbye.
Well, goodbye, operator. You've been very nice. Goodbye. Oh, now, Pierrot. The operator was so nice, and you wouldn't say hello. I don't think that was very... What? Oh, you want to call someone? Well, if you're going to be too bashful, how are you going to... All right, you can make a call. Yes, and you always ask permission first so someone older can help you. You know whom you're going to call? And you know your number? You do? All right, well, first, we take the receiver off the cradle very carefully, and we listen for the dial tone. Hear it? There. Yes, yes, that's right, Ann. You heard it? Well, then that means it's ready, and we're ready to dial. All right. Yes, I'm going to help you. Now, here is. Well, you want me to close my eyes? All right. I wonder whom Pierrot is going to call. I wonder.
Operator!
Oh, Pierrot called the operator. Operator, Pierrot is too bashful to say hello. Oh, so he's saying goodbye.
Such a polite puppy.
Yes, he is. Oh, operator, I think Pierrot likes you very much.
Oh, I'm so glad. He's such a nice little puppy.
Well, we both say goodbye, operator.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, thank you. Well, wasn't the operator nice? Now, Pierrot, you know how to make a telephone call. Where are you going? Oh, you want to say goodbye to the telephone. All right, goodbye, telephone. There we are. You going to say goodbye again? Goodbye.
I love Pierrot. So great. And there's more. So many more. I will try to ration them out over the next several weeks or however long this takes. But if you don't like them now, it'll grow on you. I will make it grow on you. So just as a recap, if you don't know who I am, I'm Skip Elsheimer. I collect old educational films, and I am showing them to folks like you. That's what I do. That's why I do it. So it's time for an animated film that mildly has a food-related theme. We've already shown Good Table Manners, which also had a food-related theme. But this one is a very odd niche film. I like these types of things because they teach you about whatever field they're discussing or they're catering to. And this one is about packaging, paraffinated cardboard. And you might say, well, like, what would you use paraffinated cardboard for? Well, ice cream. So here's a very odd promotional film, very odd, about using paraffinated packaging for ice cream. This is the butcher, baker, and ice cream maker.
Let me tell you a story of Mother Goose Land. It happened not too long ago, when little Bo Peep and even her sheep were awaiting the nursery rhyme show. Now, this nursery rhyme show was the year's big event. It was part of the Mother Goose Fair, and the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker were scheduled to sing a song there.
I am the butcher, and I am the baker, and we're way before the candlestick maker. We are friends, we three, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. Where, oh where can he be? Oh, where can the candle maker be?
We're on the list of entertainment planned for the Mother Goose Fair.
We must hurry and prepare a song of sentiment. The butcher,
the baker,
the candlestick maker will sing in harmony. But where, oh where can he be?
Hello, hello, hello. You're late.
Did you forget our date?
No. I just stopped by to tell you why. Later, candlestick maker. Now pipe us the pitch. Thank you, Mr. Baker.
Wait. I have sad news for you. I'm afraid our jolly trio must end up with two.
Two? But what of you?
I'm molding all those fancy candles to place on tables and on mantels. Candles for wreaths, etc., and tall candles for candelabra. I'm so busy twisting tapers of wax, I simply have no time to relax. I hope I'll not be in your bad grace, but you'll have to find another base.
Really, you exasperate. Find a base at this late date?
Impossible. This is really rough. Finding a base will be very tough.
Now I must hurry back to my shop. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Candlestick maker, stop! Stop!
He's gone. He's gone. What shall we do? We can't have a trio with only two.
The town is wide, the world is new. Let us see what we can do to bring our number back to 3 so we can sing in harmony and without a care at the Mother Goose Fair.
Up, 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 and away we fly, away we fly, away we fly. In our helicopter high, high up in the sky. We can fly through the clouds, high above the town.
And when we think we're high enough,
Gently we come down. Up, 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 and away we fly, away we fly, away we fly. In our helicopter high, high up in the sky.
Let's whap down to the street below.
Okay with me, pal. Let's go.
Hello, friend doctor. How do you do?
Oh, I'm just fine, but how are you?
Sad. Sad. The situation's bad. The candlestick maker is indisposed, and since you're a base, I suppose you might substitute in his place. We have a song we must prepare to sing at the Mother Goose Fair.
Oh, my measles, chicken pox, and mumps, skin legs and cuts and bumps take up all my time.
A crime?
Sorry, but I can't sing with you.
And the lawyer?
Oh, he's busy too. Writs and rights and fanciful flights to the courts in Washington keep our wise young lawyer friend frantically on the run. But why not ask the Indian chief?
Dear doctor, please don't cause us grief. I dislike being so downright blunt, but his voice is one long grunt. The Indian chief in his rainbow rug can't sing. The only word he knows is...
I'm sorry, I can't help. But you understand.
Sure. Come on, pal. Let's tour the land.
Up, 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 and away we fly, away we fly, away we fly. In our helicopter high, high up in the sky. We can fly through the clouds, high above the town.
and when we think we're high enough,
Gently we come down. Up, 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 and away we fly, away we fly, away we fly. In our helicopter high, high up in the sky.
Isn't that a bass voice I hear?
I heard it too. Sounds near. The answer to our plea. Yoo-hoo!
Were you hooing at me?
I am the butcher.
And I am the baker.
How do you do? I'm the ice cream maker.
Why were you singing so happily?
Won't you come into my plant and see?
What did you say is your occupation?
Why, I make a food that's a top sensation. My tour will give you an excellent slant on the workings of an ice cream plant. See how the mixes swirl around in there till they're blended to rich perfection, then piped into these smaller vats here in this delicious section. Say, do you like fruits or nuts? Well, they're added to the mix right here, then blended sweetly all at once in this gigantic sphere. Now the mixture passes through pipes and is fed automatically into square-shaped cartons, just as easy as 1, 2, 3. This is pre-packaged ice cream, and it's actually better for you. Sanitary, untouched by human hands. And easier to store at home, too. Watch the square-shaped cartons march away with perfect ease into the icy cold hardening room where they're stacked up to freeze. But we better not stay in here because the temperature's 20 below. Why, it's so frosty cold in here, your breath might turn to snow. You have time to see some more? Well, then let's move on to the druggist store. This is my friend the druggist, and a very good friend is he. He sells the ice cream that I make, as you will plainly see.
What a tempting, tasty dream. A cabinet loaded with luscious ice cream. And just look at all these flavors. Fudge ripples and pink cherry, special flavors and centers and chocolate and vanilla and strawberry.
Yep, I'm proud of my wide variety. These square-shaped cartons are really neat. I can store so many more, which makes the selection complete. Here comes little Miss Muffet, who gave up her curds and whey. She stops at the soda fountain for her triple treat sundae each day. Well, look who's coming in the store. It's jaunty little Jack Horner. He knows ice cream is so delicious on his plum pie in the corner.
There's one more chap I'd like you to meet. He's the merchant at the store on Toyland Street. Hello, Mr. Merchant. Do you mind if we take a look? I'd like my newfound friends to know my business like a book.
A pleasure, a pleasure. Look around, and when you're hunting for a treat, stop by my snowy white cabinet for something delectable to eat. It's ice cream, that food dream, favorites of folks everywhere. Gives you even more for your money when sold in the Carton Square. And if you want nice, right-sized portions, golly, that's no magic feat. Whether you slice, spoon, or dip it, your portions are always neat. Here comes little Tommy Tucker. Listen closely to his theme. When he sings out for his supper, he sings out for ice cream. Tommy, when you get your ice cream home, store it in the proper place. In freezer or refrigerator, squares take up less space.
Well, my friends, seen enough?
I'm real impressed with all this stuff.
And I'm impressed. I'll say I am. Why, ice cream goes extra well with the tarts, cakes, and cookies, and other goodies that I sell.
I'm sold.
Me too.
We want you.
Thanks so much. You're very kind. And I accept your invitation.
Good. Let's practice our song now without further hesitation.
I am the butcher.
And I am the baker.
I am, yes, I am the ice cream maker.
Our meat, our bread, our ice cream too. The foods we make that are good for you. Eat them all and you'll grow strong. Yes, eat them all and join our song.
I am the butcher.
And I am the baker.
I am, yes, I am the ice cream maker.
We three sing in harmony. The butcher,
the baker, the ice cream maker.
and we are friends. We are we three, and we are friends. We are we three.
Wow, that was a lot of work to sell waxed cartons. I mean, you think about, it's one thing to have a guy just talking and showing the product, but to actually hire a team to animate it that's a lot of work, a whole lot of work. And you could see that this was the Paraffinated Carton Council, so it was a group of manufacturers who got together and said, all right, we need to educate our customers about this product that we have and how great it is, and come up and do it in a pleasant way so that our sales team can show them at different trade shows and show them different times they're doing sales calls to get manufacturers who make ice cream interested in buying this product, this new thing. And I guess it did well, because I remember as a kid, like seeing packages of ice cream, and then you could scrape off with your fingernail the wax on the outside. So it was something that was adopted. But this is why I collect films like this. It's such a weird little tiny niche, an ephemeral time and place for an individual audience, and you learn a lot and you see a lot about this, and it's super hokey, but it's also really fascinating to see. Okay, so that was down a weird little road. Here's an interesting backstory origin film. Some of you know it. Certainly most of you probably know the subject of the film, but this is Hopalong Cassidy telling the story of Smokey Bear.
Hi there. Well, what you doing away back there? Come on up here. It's about a four-legged friend of mine. No, I don't mean Topper back there. This happened a while back in the beautiful Capitan Mountain country of New Mexico, on the Lincoln National Forest.
It was daytime on the Capitan, dry and hot, but still nice and peaceful. All the animals in the forest were having a grand old time in the sunshine of spring. There was one little 3-month-old fellow in particular who didn't have a care in the world. He was spending his time having fun, a-growling and a-prowling and a-scratching.
That's right. That bear cub didn't have a care in the world. Then somebody, a two-legged somebody, got careless.
It took several hundred men 5 days to lick that fire. 17,000 acres of timber were destroyed. Timber that could have been used for homes and furniture, along with the mills that could have turned it out. A lot of wild animals lost their homes. Many lost their lives. But there was one little fellow who somehow survived that terrible fire.
Yes, the little bear cub came through. He was found clinging to what was left of a small tree.
Bell rushed that burned and frightened cub to the nearest animal hospital by plane. Warden Bell saw to it that he was given the best of care. His burned feet responded to treatment. His hair grew back, and with his little belly full of good food, he grew fat and sassy. They named him Little Smokey, and in a special Piper Cub plane took him on another trip by air. This time it was clear across the country, over America's farms, factories, and cities. Finally, Little Smokey and his plane landed in Washington, our nation's capital. Here, along with his official escort, New Mexico's Assistant State Game Warden, Homer C. Pickens, Little Smokey was greeted in the rain by a very enthusiastic committee. Chief Forester Lyle Watts accepted Little Smokey as a gift to the state foresters and Uncle Sam's Forest Service from the New Mexico Department of Game and Fish.
But for our little hero, that welcome in the rain was only the beginning of a new and very worthwhile life.
On the first sunny day, Little Smokey was presented to the National Zoo in Washington and became a living symbol of forest fire prevention. The kids went for the whole idea like a bear goes for honey. And Little Smokey seemed to like the new setup, too. It was really a big occasion. Senator Chavez of New Mexico was there to welcome his former constituent to his home in the zoo. The state foresters joined in dedicating the life of Little Smokey to the school children of America to serve as an honest-to-goodness reminder of the danger of forest fires and the need to save our forests and wildlife from destruction by fire.
You're probably wondering if Little Smokey has lived up to all the fine things that were planned for him. You can take my word for it, he has. You see, I had a personal invitation to visit Little Smokey a while back. Of course, he's kind of a big Smokey now. A year or so will do that to a bear. I was mighty glad to see him, and I soon learned that I wasn't the only one. That Smokey is a famous character, all right. He sure liked the oranges I brought him. But I'd do that for any forest fire preventing pal. I hate forest fires worse than all the diamondback rattlesnakes in the world. That's why I've tried to do my little bit toward preventing them.
I guess that's why the forestry boys were on hand, too, and why they gave me a special certificate making me an honorary forest ranger. That really made me proud because it put me right on Smokey's team. Of course, Smokey had to check the document to see if it was genuine and scratch his seal of approval on it. On that trip, I learned just how much good Smokey has done in preventing man-caused forest fires, mostly as a model for those car cards and posters you see most everywhere. Smokey and his important message sure get around. On mail trucks along the city streets, in the buses and trolley cars, in the woods, why, even in the comics. And now there's a song about Smokey the school children all over this great country of ours can sing and take to heart.
With the ranger's hat and shovel and a pair of dungarees, you will find him in the forest, always sniffing at the breeze. People stop and pay attention when he tells them to beware, 'cause everybody knows that he's a park prevention bear. Smokey the bear, Smokey the bear, growling and a sniffing the air. He can find a fire before it starts to flame. That's why they call him Smokey, that was how he got his name. If you've ever seen the forest when the fire's running wild, and you love the things within it like a mother loves her child, then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do. Smokey the bear, Smokey the bear, growling and a sniffing the air. He can find a fire before it starts to flame. That's why they call him Smokey, that was how he got his name.
Smokey the Bear, a living reminder to all of us today of the need to protect our forests and wildlife for the good of all those who follow us in the future. Well, that's the story of Smokey Bear, your friend and mine. But Smokey needs our help, so let's all be careful of fires in the forest always. And remember, only we, you and I, can prevent forest fires. So long for now, partners.
So there's an argument about whether it is Smokey the Bear or Smokey Bear. And I believe it's Smokey Bear, but that song kind of throws a wrench into it. And I think they added the to kind of help with the meter of the song. Anyways, yeah, so Hopalong Cassidy, back when TV cowboys were very popular. And they were the ones that were the pop culture celebrities that would give messages to youth back when kids would dress up as cowboys, both boys and girls. So we have one last film, and this is kind of related to a couple of things that were mentioned in previous streaming events. One was someone was interested in fast food training films, and one person talked about they misidentified comedy shtick was that he was running for president. His wit is very dry, very, very dry, but I love it. I remember seeing him on the Monkees a long time ago, back when the Monkees was in syndication. I was too young to remember the Monkees when it first aired, but I really loved his deal, his whole persona. And then I later watched Laugh-In reruns and saw him on there, and there was a couple other shows that I saw him on where he was just, it's hilarious, kind of like an early Stephen Wright type of character. But anyways, this is I only have one McDonald's training film, and this is something I bought on eBay. Probably paid too much money for it, but this is funny. So I'm gonna leave you with this. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in for lunch, and thanks for being there and commenting. And again, this is something that I've been doing. This is into week 3, and it means a great deal for me to share these films with you, and then for you guys to watch them and all that. Now, how can you help AV Geeks? One way is Patreon. You can donate there, but really another way is to share these links and tell people about the screenings that we're doing and about AV Geeks in general. AVGeeks.com is where I have a lot of this stuff, and actually has archived streamings of the previous lunch things that we've done. And also I'm rolling out a place where you can buy DVDs of some of the films that we've been showing, plus probably 3,000 more. That hopefully will be done by the end of this week. Also, some exciting news. Well, I don't know if I'll tell you this. I won't tell you. I'll tell you later when it's done. But I'll be streaming with some other interesting people and doing other interesting projects as we move forward. It's all very much in the planning stages at this point, and who knows? Everything can go awry for whatever reasons, usually technical reasons at this point. But anyways, so here is 6 steps of success for working the counter at McDonald's. It's funny if you put your brain into that 60s funny. I thought it's great. I can put myself in those brain spaces, and so here it is. Everybody enjoy, and thanks again for coming out. We'll see you soon.
Hello. You're about to see a film about my favorite company, McDonald's. The story of McDonald's is a phenomenal success story, but this film tells a different success story. A story of how you, the McDonald's windowmen, can achieve the greatest success in your job. Number one is the test. It all starts, we're going to start out with we're going to begin with the challenge.
You're witnessing an actual scene at McDonald's. Placing the order to delivery of a fresh, steaming dinner for 4, all within 30 seconds, the length of this commercial. Nobody serves anybody faster than McDonald's. That's why McDonald's is your kind of place.
And here's that order. The food is hot. Cooked cooked just right, served with efficiency and courtesy. Can you do the same? Yes. If you follow a simple program of 6 simple steps from greeting the customer to thanking the customer. If you perform each of these steps correctly, you cannot fail. Along with these 6 steps, each employee should have an understanding of people and a knowledge of hustle. What is hustle? Hustle. Hustle is a positive feeling. Hustle is working fast and well because you want to. Hustle is teamwork, organization, thinking ahead. Hustle is not merely speed. This is hustle. Any questions? All right. If there are no questions, we'll move along now to a dramatization of the importance of hustle. This really happened to a crew that did not hustle. It could happen to you. Get my point? Hustle, hustle, hustle. Hustle is important. So are people. People, people, people. Now here you see your average McDonald's hamburger. I mean customer. Statistics show that your average customer on an average day has a headache. He also has many worries and fears. He's angry at his boss, his dry cleaner, and or his brother-in-law. And there's also a 2.9 chance in 10 he has a cold. So this is your average customer. There's more to him than meets the elbow. Know him, understand him, love him. Serve him well, because without him there's no such thing as McDonald's. Remember that your greeting is often the customer's first impression of McDonald's.
So, what do you want? Bring me poison, Charlie.
Tell me, sir, how can I serve you?
Courtesy counts. Your greeting should be genuine. Here is an ungenuine greeting. Now here's my greeting. It should be genuinely friendly.
May I take your order, sir?
I want a Big Mac and a Coke, and make it snappy, baby.
May I take your order, sir?
Good morning, ma'am. May I please help you?
May I take your order, sir?
Can I help you, ma'am? Good afternoon. May I help you, sir?
Good afternoon, sir. May I help you?
May I help you, ma'am?
Good morning, sir. May I help you, please? Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Once you have correctly greeted the customer, the next step is to take the order. Notice? The next step is to take the order. This step demands patience. I feel better now. You must be a good, attentive listener. When you take the customer's order, you must take the time.
May I help you, sir?
Let's see here.
Would you like fries with that, sir?
May I help you, ma'am?
Yeah, I'd like,
2 words.
Mhm.
First word. Sound like. Gun. Bubble gum. Double. Second word. Picture. Smile. Cheese. A double cheeseburger. How about some fries with that, ma'am?
No.
How about something to drink?
I want some fries.
What's that? Who's there?
I want some fries.
Oh, it's the devil in the guise of a child. Are you standing in a hole, my friend? Go away. Be gone.
I want some fries.
Don't waste my time, you unkept urchin. Go see a hubcap. Scamper away before I... What's that? You want a fire?
Take the order means taking the time to listen, to wait for the customer to make up his mind, perhaps to suggest an item. Every order is as important as every other order. Every customer is as important as every other customer. Every customer who has an order is important to his order if he happens to be a customer wanting an order.
How about an order of fries with that, sir? How about some hot apple pie?
Would you like any fries today, sir?
How about a shake with that, sir?
Would you like some hot apple pie with that, ma'am?
Step 3, assembling the order. I call this the thinking ahead step. Who knows why I call this the thinking ahead step? Right. When you're taking the order, you should also be thinking about assembling it. Where you'll have to go to pick it up. What size tray you'll have to use. And are the items ready for you? If everyone is thinking and watching, there'll be no need for the shouting that sometimes occurs.
May I help you, please, sir?
Yes, I'd like to order, if I may, a Big Mac, I believe you call it, an order of French fries, and if it's not too much trouble, a regular Coke.
One Mac.
One Big Mac.
One Mac.
Fries or Coke? One Big Mac, fries and Coke.
Mac.
Fries, Coke.
Will there be anything else, sir?
Yes, if it's not too much trouble, a milkshake.
One Mac, one fry, one Coke, and a shake.
One Big Mac, one fry, one Coke.
What flavor shake, sir?
When you begin to assemble an order, don't immediately go off in all directions. Plan your steps. It's really as simple as A, B, C. First A, get the drinks. Then B, sandwiches. Then C, the fries. Right there. Assemble the order in a 1, 2, 3 pattern. Drinks, sandwiches, fries. Next, step 4, presenting the order. Remember that the order you place in front of the customer must look clean and crisp and appealing. It's a package of food for him, and it's an advertisement for us. Present it efficiently, neatly.
How's that, ma'am?
That's fine.
Handle that.
That'll be fine.
I'll get you a box.
No, that'll be
Is
fine.
this a special occasion, ma'am? We
No.
have wrapping paper. We have red
No,
and
that's
blue.
all
Isn't
right.
that... We have bows for that, ma'am. Red.
That'll be fine.
Patterns. That's what you need.
No, that'll be all right.
I wrapped this up for a customer of mine. I'm delivering this afternoon. Isn't... Oh, that...
This will be all right.
Cards. We forgot the cards. Happiness on your birthday. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, young man.
Don't overdo it. Make it nice, make it neat, but don't overdo it. Boy, this looks great. All righty now. How many know what step 5 is? That's right. Step 5 is asking for payment. When you state the price of an order, you are asking for payment. Make it brief. Make it businesslike. Make it painless. Make it polite.
That'll be $1.35. 39 is supposed to be 99, 40, 15, 14, sure, 10, 14, 19, 2. Mustn't forget the 10. Let's do your $2.10 for...
No. When asking for payment, you must always be businesslike and polite. Always be polite, you dummy.
That'd be $2.40, please, ma'am.
A Big Mac, 2 fries, and a Coke. That'll be $1.25.
That would be 80 cents, please.
That'll be $1.85, please.
That'd be $1.65, please.
That'd be $2.10 today, sir.
That would be 70 cents, please.
The final step, step 6, is thanking the customer. The thanks should be genuine. I mean, it should be a genuine thank. There should be a request for repeat business within the thank. I mean, it shouldn't consist of the same words used over and over again. It should not consist of the same words used over and over again. It shouldn't use the same words.
Thanks and come back. 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 Thanks and come back.
The thanks should not consist of the same words used over and over again, and it should not be very long.
I'd like to thank you for your business, and I mean that. I'm serious. If you decide not to walk through that door, we might as well close up shop. Right, Henry?
Right you are, Bob.
This is Henry.
How do you do?
Hi, Henry. Hey.
Henry and I feel the same way. The customer is king. In your case, queen. We want to satisfy in your food, service, everything. And Marge feels that way too. Right, Marge?
Right you are.
This is Marge.
How do you do? Hi, Marge.
We hope you'd stop by the next time you're hungry. Just think of us. Right, Henry? Marge?
Right you are, Bob.
We're serving you. Right, Lou? You're the most important person in the store. We want you to come back all the time. You're welcome at any time of the day. Just think of us. Please drop in again.
Thank you. Come again.
Thank you very much. Come in again.
Thank you, ma'am, and hurry back to see us. Thank you, ma'am. Look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you. I hope you'll come back and see us again.
Have a pleasant evening, sir.
Thank you. Please hurry back.
Now we've seen the 3 basic elements of the film. The basic elements are hustle, an understanding of people, and the ability to perform the 6 steps correctly. Let's review this. There's nothing difficult about hustle. There's nothing difficult about understanding people either. For a moment, put yourself in place of the customer. Your average customer has a lot on his mind and nothing in his stomach. When he leaves a McDonald store, his stomach should be back to full and his mind back to empty. Also, there's nothing really difficult about performing each of the 6 steps correctly.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
How about a chocolate shake with that, sir?
That'll be $2.10, sir.
Thank you. Please come again.
May I help you, please?
Would you like some fries with that?
That will be 220, please. Please call on us again soon.
It's a formula that really cannot fail if you approach it with a certain frame of mind, a certain attitude. That is, a positive attitude. Oh, man, I can't. That's too much.
Thank you. Come again. Thank you. Come again. Thank you. Come again. Thank you. Come again. Thank you.